All right, thank you for joining us here with Hermon. I have to say, I am a little shocked that you came out this early, but you made jury.
Yeah, I made jury.
You're the mayor of jury.
I am the mayor of jury. Population 1.
Okay, let's talk about your campaign because you did not stop campaigning, and it looked like you were really making some traction.
Yeah, I thought I had 4. I thought I really could get Josh, and I thought he would honor the final 2 we had discussed in week 4. I know Moosey, my boy, was there, and I really thought the showmans had my back too. Summer was a bit of a wild card, which is kind of weird too. Like, I thought we were just booed up since week 2, but okay. So yeah, all of it was a surprise for me, a little bit. But I think I had a pretty good idea that they wanted to protect themselves, and yeah.
Yeah, I think your spidey senses were absolutely going on.
They were tingling.
But Gino and Jace, like, you made really good headway there with your argument, saying, okay, I'm gonna work with you, and you always wanted to work with the showmans. Why didn't that part work?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I made it very clear to them I was never coming for them, and I don't know why they decided to go the other way. If they felt more safe or secure, or they didn't feel like everyone else felt as strongly with keeping me, so they wanted to save their butts a little bit.
Okay, let's talk about Summer, because as you said, wild card.
Yeah.
Summer had a tough choice, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it didn't seem tough to you, but it was a tough choice.
Right.
Tell me about that relationship.
Yeah, no, Summer's good. We just flirt a lot and hang out, and I just really liked her as a person. I never really met someone like Summer, so no, so it was a great time to get to know her. And for me, it was a no-brainer. If she was on the block, I definitely would have saved her. So I felt like it should have been a no-brainer for her. But she's playing her game, and it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me ask you about Kevin, because in the goodbye messages, he was like, "We were rivals," and you were.
Yeah. We were never on the same side of the house. We were never on the same side of the vote, it felt like. I always felt like I'd come to Kevin with game conversation. I mean, I put him up week 1. So the boy's been salty. He's been salty. So, I mean, he would never really give me information when I asked for it. I felt like I was always giving, and eventually I was like, you're my target. So.
Now, you played what could be considered a very classic game of Big Brother, in that you were like, let me build a big alliance, another alliance, throw in a couple final 2s.
Right.
And all of your alliances were destroyed. How frustrating was that for you?
Oh, when Kyle absolutely dropped the bomb on me in week 3 and blew up the 7, the retreat, I just felt like I was starting from ground zero in week 4. I had my personal relationships to fall back on, but I mean, I don't know. I just was like, I want to stay away from everybody and just try to ride this thing out. And I mean, it got me an extra 2-3 weeks, but
it might not be that type of season in terms of alliance, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, no one really wanted to rock with the big alliance. They said they wanted to. It was an incredible name. The 7-7.
The hand signal? Amazing. Amazing.
What a waste. What a waste.
No, I want to ask you about losing Tanisha, because that was tough, because Moose was on the block up against Tanisha, but I honestly feel like the safety chain, I feel like that was the last time you were part of a unified group, was that moment that day.
Yeah. Losing Tanisha was, I feel like she was the glue of the group, and I knew she had my back. I know if T was in Summer's position right now, 100% T would have tried to keep me, and that's why I wanted to rock with T for so long. Even with Moose beside her on the block, I felt like Moose had a few more enemies. So, maybe, keeping T would be, beneficial for my game. But, yeah, I think that was the start of the demise as soon as all that happened. I mean, Jess went home, hey, turn up. But,
Okay, so, and what about Betty? You said your Havish's sister.
Yeah,
How tough was that being on the block?
My Havish's sister, Betty, yeah. It was tough. Like, I really wanted to see us both make it as far as possible. I mean, silver lining, we're both going to be in jury, I think.
No one had to vote for somebody else.
No one had to vote for somebody else. I never had to. I mean, did they?
Well, I can't tell you anything. You're going to jury.
Did they? Yeah.
Okay, well, tell me about Moose, because he really did seem like your little brother in there.
Yeah, he's my little broski. He's got his little, quirks and things that I always like to call him out on. I absolutely love that kid, and I think he's got a big heart. And yeah, he's just my little broski. I got a little bro, but he's my little broski. So yeah, I love that guy.
Okay, and you were on your way to becoming a real compies had you stayed longer. Like, you were pretty confident how you would have done in the next couple comps.
I'm a problem. Like, I knew I was a problem in those comps. I played in 6. The bowling one, let's call it 7. I'm 2 for 7. 2 for 7 in comps. I really am a problem. You don't want to see me in those comps.
Listen, we watched you in the very first competition, and you destroyed the puzzle. We were like, oh my gosh, no one's close.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
I set the mark a little bit, you know. So yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's why you were the problem. It's true.
I didn't want the first one. I told you I didn't want the first one. I wanted number 2, but I don't think I would have won number 2 anyways. So,
what do you think was your biggest takeaway? A lot of people go through this experience and they learn quite a bit about themselves, how they are under pressure, all of that. What did you learn about yourself?
Yeah, I really wanted to challenge myself physically and mentally. Physically, I think I got an opportunity to do that. I would have loved a little bit more. Mentally, you know, I was pushed to my limits, and I did allow some people to kind of break me a little bit, but I pulled myself out. When I felt low, I was able to pull myself up, which was great. Yeah, and I'm just really proud of me. I also learned I'm extremely trusting, like blindly trusting, and loyal, and I really feel like I am. And if I rock with you, I rock with you, and if I don't, you will definitely know.
Listen, it is not easy. Please tell people how hard it is in there to keep it all together. Although you did seem to thrive in there.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks. I can tell you from experience. But you know, it is hard, and you know, just sleeping and food and always talking game. You should not be talking that many times in a day. There's no need to have that many conversations. And sometimes you're like, yo, I just need to sit by myself. And someone's like, do you want tea? You're like, get away from me. So anyways, it is harder than it looks.
Well, I did want to ask you just about how much fun you had as well. Like, it got pretty real in there, just in the last stretch, but you also had so much fun, and a lot of people love that about you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I love to have a good time. That's just how I am all the time. I try to make people happy and smile, and I like to crack jokes, do impressions, come up with fun things to do, pull pranks. Like, you know, that's just who I am. I am happy most of the time. Sometimes I get a little mad, but most of the time I'm happy.
Now, if you could do it all over again, you know, if then you knew what you know now, how would your game have changed?
I would have basically told, you know, basically the true few, or whatever you want to call that whole question mark room.
Oh, that true few.
True few.
Big up true few.
I would have told them everything that I had been doing with the boys, just to try and build some trust on that side. And I probably would have tried a little harder to make something more concrete in like a final 3 with Moose and Josh.
Are you still talking about alliances?
Yeah, yeah. More and more. I want more alliances. I mean, ain't none of them protecting me, but hey.
Was there a moment, though, that you were like, okay, this is not happening?
Like, what do you mean, like now, like this time?
No, I mean, because you kept trying to build, right?
I know.
And we were watching you build.
Yeah, there was a moment. Like, I think after week 3, I was like, I'm done with alliances. So I just wanted one person I could depend on, and I thought that was Josh. But I think Josh had people he was closer to personally, and I felt really close to him game-wise, and I think personal overtook game in the end.
Okay, well, I do want to ask, who do you want to win, and who do you think will win? Because it's not always the same person.
Right. Who do I want to win? Honestly, probably my boy Moose. You know, if they don't get Marty out next week, I think Marty's got a good chance of going pretty far. So yeah, those would be my 2.
Okay, all right. I love getting all this juicy house guest gossip. Speaking of juicy, make sure you head on over to Wendy's to grab a Dave's single quarter-pound of juicy, fresh, never frozen beef. Thank you for the dance. And just before you go, do you mind just signing us off with the radio voice? Because I need to hear it one last time.
All right, Canada, it's Hermon here, and I'm signing off for the final time. Have a great night, and say I love you to your mom.
Thank you so much, Hermon. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you at jury.
Cool. Bye. Do I dip?